Hello, Pauper fans. This is Mathonical, and you are joining me for round 2 of the October 15th Pauper Challenge with Rally Gond. Our opening hand is unfortunately not keepable, only one green source. We do need white mana for this deck to operate, so we will send this one back. In our second hand, this is a good hand if we're playing against something where the standard bearer is relevant. We're a little ways away from the Battle Screech, but this is a fairly reasonable hand that can beat Stompy fairly easily and some other decks. So we'll go ahead and keep this. The Benevolent Bodyguard, we'll keep that one on top as well, just because that will protect some of our guys. Actually, or did I ship it? We'll find out in a moment. Yeah, I did keep it. That also gives us a turn 2 play with our tapped land. And now lands are good because they bring us closer to Battle Screech, and some of our combo pieces. Well, yeah, we don't really want those. We'd want a green source before we draw any kind of like Presence of Gond. Sense Enlistment is nice in the long game if we get there, but unfortunately we're not drawing any lands, so we'll just kind of bide our time. We go ahead and let the Standard Bearer die there because we want the opportunity to protect the Soul's Attendants. With the Bodyguard, we could have protected the Standard Bearer, but I didn't feel that there was a need to with that for the moment. They were going to do their jobs interchangeably, and keeping the Bodyguard around plays around Journey to Nowhere, where it doesn't have to target the Standard Bearer. This is spells only. Drawing another Soul Sister means we can probably draw this game out longer, but we really do need to head some additional land drops with the way our hand looks. Our opponent is doing the Boros Monarch thing, as you've seen in some of my videos previously, where you just kind of use all of your mana efficiently to draw lots of cards and create a lot of flying creatures. Communing with the Gods is not the kind of card we're looking for. We don't even have green mana yet, so we're still on the hope we draw a third mana at some point, because that will turn our Prismatic Strands online, and basically everything else, eventually. Still no third land. Things are starting to look a little dire. There isn't much we can do to stall out the game unless we get these Prismatic Strands online. And we basically just have one more turn reasonably to get there. This is why we kept the Bodyguard around. We're able to protect our Soul Warden from a Journey to Nowhere. And unfortunately we don't draw our third land here either, and we just draw a Soul Sister. So now we're already in the danger territory since they're able to bolt our face, get in for some additional damage, and yep, they have the Rally Peasant, so we will jump straight into game 2. A little unfortunate with the land situation there. So, in game 2, we'll take a quick look at our sideboard plan against Boros Monarch. Here, Journeys and Oblivion Rings, they don't do anything. The Standard Bearer is also not that great since the Journeys get around it. And Presence of Gond, they have a lot of instant speed interaction, so it's not as powerful. So we bring out the Standard Bearer, 2 of the Presences. We'll take out 1 of the Rally of Peasants as well, just because we don't want to lower our creature count too much, because we're bringing in 3 Spider Silk Armors to protect ourselves against them, and we're also bringing in the 1 Hollow to protect ourselves against some of their burn spells and electricities and the like. And we're basically just trying to invalidate all their creatures by getting some of these Spider Silks online. So, let's take a look at our opening hand. And this is a very reasonable hand. It has the ability to turn 4 win if our opponent doesn't have any interaction. If they do, we can always slow play it a little bit by getting the Spider Silk online, and that way Lightning Bolts won't be able to kill our guard, and we have about a Battle Screech for a longer term game plan if we need to, but this kind of hand is prime for asking our opponent, do you have an answer? We'll happily keep this one. Getting a Commune with the Gods is fairly nice there. That means we can dig for some protection effects if we want to. Although getting the Bodyguard is perfect. That allows us to both cast the Commune with the Gods and get the Benevolent Bodyguard online. We didn't hit anything great off of the Commune. We just got an additional Midnight Guard, and if they were to bolt it here, we would go ahead and let it happen since we have a second guard in hand and we want to try and play around as many protection effects as possible. But since they're only leaving up 1 red, we're now able to go for the win next turn. There's nothing they can do to respond since we've got the Benevolent Bodyguard protected. And that is the game. We go ahead and start making a whole bunch of dudes. It's entirely reasonable for our opponent not to concede here, because they do have Electrickeries in their decks, which would buy an additional turn. So it is possible for them to Electrickery and kill our guy in the other order. Make sure you kill the guy first if you're playing against this deck. So, we get to the next turn. They still haven't Electrickeried and bolted our guy, so my assumption here is that they're planning to Electrickery us on our turn to buy an additional turn. And it turns out that they don't have it, so we win game 2. Excellent. Jumping into game 3, we'll take a look at our opening hand. And this hand, while a little land heavy, is the kind of hand that can win very quickly. We've got a Soul's Attendant, which will buy us time in the long game if it gets to that. But we have the Commune of the Gods that it's basically going to be looking for either one of the Spider Silk Armors to invalidate their creatures, or for the combo piece to go infinite. So we'll go ahead and keep this. This card just stitches the entire deck together. So much so that we're basically looking to, like, we had the option there to either cast double Soul Sister or play Commune with the Gods. Since we have 3 Soul Sisters here, we're going to run one out there, hopefully trying to get some bolts out of their hands, wasting it on this since we don't have protection effect for our guard. But they're just going on the token plan. We don't really mind that because now we've got our Spider Silk Armor. And that's going to allow us to essentially invalidate their creatures. Some bolts do start coming out, and that's perfectly fine. They're going to be playing 1-for-1 answers, and all of our creatures will be better than all of their creatures going forward. We also have this Battle Screech that we're able to cash in at some point. Drawing the Prismatic Strands, I'm going to hold that up to blank a burn spell, or if they attack and rally, I can cash it in there as well. They go for the bolt, we go ahead and protect our creature. Here, they're swinging with everybody, so we'll go ahead and block 2. And it turns out that they also have the rally. We do want to keep our Soul Sisters around, so we're going to cash in the Prismatic Strands. These are very important in the matchup, just being able to gain incremental life, as we're both going to be playing a ton of tokens. It will keep us out of burn range and any kind of shenanigans later on. Just continuing to play out our creatures, like playing our birds. Here we're attacking. I'm basically trying to get a feel for what our opponent has and to get a feel for how they're blocking, since we're only going to lose 1 bird and then we're going to be able to trade with birds on the other side. While that may not be the most correct line, I felt like I wanted to see if they had another bolt, essentially, and draw it out of their hand if they had it. And now we're just going to be on the waiting plan. We've got some more creatures, or equal number of creatures to them, and our creatures are currently better. We're going to start trying to hold lands in hand in case we get one of our Sense Enlistment, because that will put us over the edge to being able to win this game. They do have their Sense Enlistment online, so that is something for us to be mindful of, that they're going to be trying to generate as many creatures as we are. We go ahead and thin our deck with the Ash Barrens and play our other Spider Silk Armor. This is now going to protect us against double Electrickery, which is a risk that they can pull off once in a while. It's much less likely that they have 3, and this protects us a lot better. If we get a 3rd one, we would be able to block all of their creatures, and the Rally of the Peasants would not be able to kill our creatures at that point. Benevolent Bodyguard is a nice pickup. It means we can protect our Soul's Attendant, because this would be a very important card with all of these creatures being generated over the long game. They're continuing to draw quite a few more cards than us, but that doesn't generally matter at this point unless they find some of their haymakers. And there's the 3rd Spider Silk Armor. So now we're protected against any sort of all-in attack. They would have to be able to cash their Rally the Peasants in and be able to cast an Electricity at the same time. Standard Bearer means that our infinite combo is offline at this point, and we don't have any removal, so we won't be able to play any of our Presence Beyond. Commune with the Gods is a nice pickup, and it does find us some good stuff. Benevolent Bodyguard is fine, but more importantly, we are looking forward to that Sense Enlistment to put in our graveyard. So now we can start cashing in these lands we've been holding on to turn them into creatures to keep up with our opponent. They're continuing to draw cards and make their own Sense Enlistment tokens. At this point, we're looking for a prismatic strand just to be able to start attacking or to protect ourselves from their Rally the Peasants or anything like that. We'd also like our Rally the Peasants, the last one, to aim for a win of some sort. And outside of those, we're basically just going to try and deck them. We did find the prismatic strands, so that is part 1 of the combo that we're looking for. This will protect us from any kind of crazy amount of burn that they may or may not have. Lands are fine. We'll just cash those in for more Kithkin soldiers, which will gain us in turn more life. So if you like ridiculous board states, and since there's a lot of Boros Monarch being played, feel free to play Rally Gond. Now that we have the Rally the Peasants that we were looking for, we can start getting in for Alpha Strikes. This will allow us to either kill lots of their creatures since they have to multi-block, or if they don't block enough of our creatures, we just win on the spot, since we just need 5 unblocked creatures to win. Our opponent, realizing that we may have Rally, just kind of blocks one guy and everything and casts their Rally Peasants. That's fine. I realize they might have Electricity, which they do, but this is why we were very happy to see that Prismatic Strands. So this completely blows them out and wins us the game. Now it's just a matter of using this Rally the Peasants to do some sort of Alpha Strike to win. And there isn't really much they can do about it at this point. So we get in there. It's still possible. Like, if they blocked everything, I think they may have been able to win, or survive another turn. I decided just not to give them that opportunity to kill our most important guys. And since they didn't block everything, I'm able to cash in the Rally the Peasants and win this one. And that allows us to win round 2. I will see you in round 3.